The mistaken encounter. Rain pounded against the pavement outside Seattle's convention center as Olivia Reed juggled her presentation materials and phone. The marine biology conference had gone well. Her research on coral rehabilitation had been well received. But now she was thoroughly drenched and late for dinner with colleagues. "Great," she muttered as her rideshare app crashed again. The city's tech conference, happening simultaneously, had clogged both traffic and wireless networks. Spotting a black Tesla idling at the curb with its lights on, Olivia made a dash for it, assuming it was her repeatedly canceled rideshare finally arriving. She yanked open the door and tumbled inside, rainwater cascading from her coat. Thank goodness. "I've been waiting for—" The words died in her throat as she met the startled gaze of a man in the back seat, his laptop open, the blue light illuminating sharp cheekbones and observant eyes. "You're not my driver," he said simply, one eyebrow raised. "And you're not my rideshare," Olivia replied, mortification washing over her. "I'm so sorry, I'll just—" She reached for the door handle, but the man gestured for her to stay. "Wait, the storm's getting worse." His voice was quiet but authoritative. "Where are you headed? Perhaps we're going the same direction." Olivia hesitated, clutching her waterlogged presentation folder. "Ballard. The Marine Research Center." Something flickered across his face. Recognition, perhaps. "Sebastian Thorne," he offered, extending his hand. His sleeve pulled back to reveal an understated watch worth more than her annual salary. "The Sebastian Thorne?" Olivia blurted before she could stop herself. Even in her field, everyone knew about the reclusive tech billionaire whose environmental AI systems were revolutionizing climate science. "I'm Olivia Reed. I work with—" "Coral rehabilitation through acoustic enrichment," Sebastian finished, surprising her. "I read your paper last month. Fascinating application of bioacoustic principles." Olivia felt heat rise to her cheeks, stunned that someone like him would know her work. The privacy divider lowered, and a driver's voice came through. "Mr. Thorne, the alternate route to the mansion is ready." Sebastian seemed to make a decision. "Change of plans. We'll drop Dr. Reed at the Ballard Marine Center first." During the ride, Olivia found herself engaged in the most stimulating scientific conversation she'd had in months. Sebastian asked insightful questions about her research, revealing a depth of knowledge that surprised her. His usual media portrayal as a cold, calculating tech mogul seemed at odds with the thoughtful man beside her. As they approached the research center, the rain finally subsided, moonlight breaking through the clouds. Sebastian's phone buzzed incessantly, but he ignored it, focused entirely on their conversation. "This is me," Olivia said reluctantly as they pulled up to the modern glass building overlooking Puget Sound. Sebastian nodded, something unreadable in his expression. "Dr. Reed, our meeting was unexpected but enlightening. Most mistaken car invasions don't end this pleasantly," she joked, gathering her things. As she stepped out, Sebastian leaned forward. "Your work deserves wider recognition. Perhaps we could continue this discussion sometime?" Olivia smiled, surprising herself with her answer. "I'd like that." Neither realized that this chance encounter in a rainstorm would change the course of both their carefully ordered lives, connecting two worlds that were never meant to intersect, worlds apart. 3 weeks later, Olivia was calibrating equipment on the research center's observation deck when a commotion erupted among her interns. She looked up to see Sebastian Thorne walking toward her, dressed casually in jeans and a simple gray sweater that somehow still screamed wealth. His presence was magnetic, drawing stares from everyone on the deck. "Dr. Reed," he greeted, hands in pockets, looking oddly vulnerable despite his stature. "I hope I'm not interrupting." Olivia straightened, tucking a strand of wind-blown hair behind her ear. "Mr. Thorne, this is unexpected." "Sebastian, please," he corrected, his eyes taking in the sprawling research facility. "I was intrigued by what you said about your acoustic reefs. I wanted to see them firsthand." Olivia hesitated, then nodded to her assistant to take over. She guided Sebastian to the underwater observation area away from curious eyes. As they descended the stairs, she became acutely aware of the contrast between them, her worn sneakers and practical clothes against his understated elegance. You came all this way just to see our project? She asked skeptically. A slight smile played at his lips. Perhaps I had another motivation as well. The underwater viewing room was intimate, blue light filtering through as Pacific marine life swam before them. Olivia explained how her team used specific sound frequencies to attract fish to damaged coral reefs, accelerating rehabilitation. Sebastian listened intently, asking questions that revealed genuine interest rather than polite conversation. Most wealthy donors just want their names on buildings, she admitted. They don't actually care about the science. I'm not here as a donor, Sebastian replied, his gaze steady on hers. I'm here because you're the first person in years who didn't look at me and just see dollar signs. Their conversation flowed from marine biology to their personal lives. Sebastian shared his exhaustion with the tech world's constant demands. Olivia spoke of her struggle to secure funding for her passion. As afternoon turned to evening, he suggested dinner at a small coastal restaurant nearby. Over locally sourced seafood and wine, Sebastian revealed more of himself. Everyone wants something from me, he confessed. It's refreshing to talk with someone who challenges me intellectually instead. Olivia laughed. Well, you picked the right woman. I've been challenging authority figures since kindergarten. As they walked along the moonlit shore afterward, their hands brushed accidentally. The brief contact sent unexpected warmth through both of them, a connection neither had anticipated, but both were beginning to crave. Your world is so different from mine, Olivia said softly, watching waves crash against the shore. Sebastian stopped walking. Maybe that's exactly what we both need. Beneath the surface over the following month, Sebastian and Olivia developed a routine. Twice weekly, he would appear at the research center, and they would explore Seattle's hidden treasures together. Small bookstores, secluded hiking trails, quiet cafes where nobody recognized him. Today, they sat in Sebastian's private beachfront cottage, rain pattering against windows as they shared Thai takeout on the floor, surrounded by pillows and scientific journals. You've never told me why you became so reclusive, Olivia said, reaching for her wine glass. The media makes you sound like some mysterious hermit. Sebastian's expression darkened. He set down his food and moved to the panoramic window overlooking the turbulent sea. 5 years ago, I trusted someone, my fiancée at the time. She was feeding information to my biggest competitor. His voice grew tight. The betrayal was public, humiliating. I lost a revolutionary project and my faith in people simultaneously. Olivia joined him at the window, her reflection mingling with his in the glass. So you built walls. Walls keep you safe, he replied. They also keep you isolated, she countered, gently turning him to face her. Not everyone wants something from you. Their eyes met, and something shifted between them. Sebastian slowly raised his hand to her face, thumb brushing her cheek with unexpected tenderness. What do you want from me, Olivia? Just you, she whispered. Not the billionaire, not the tech genius. Just Sebastian. The kiss began tentatively, then deepened with unleashed longing. His hands trembled slightly as they traced the curve of her waist, while hers found their way to his chest, feeling his heartbeat quicken beneath her fingers. They moved to the couch, exploration turning to passion. Sebastian kissed her with growing urgency, his usual calculated control giving way to genuine emotion. Olivia responded in kind, surprised by the intensity of her feelings for this complex man. Later, tangled in blankets with the storm still raging outside, Sebastian traced patterns on Olivia's bare shoulder. I've never let anyone see me like this, he admitted. Vulnerable. Vulnerability isn't weakness, she replied, kissing his palm. It's courage. Sebastian pulled her closer, burying his face in her hair. My world is complicated, Olivia. Full of people who will try to use you to get to me. She propped herself up on one elbow, studying his face. I've spent my career swimming with sharks, Sebastian. I think I can handle your world. He smiled, but worry lingered in his eyes. I hope so, because I'm falling in love with you, and it terrifies me. Instead of answering, Olivia kissed him again, pouring all her unspoken feelings into the connection between them. Outside, the storm began to subside, stars peeking through breaking clouds, much like the light now finding its way through Sebastian's carefully constructed defenses. Stormy waters, the headline glared from Olivia's phone screen. Thorne's new romance? Calculated business move? Below was a grainy photo of her and Sebastian walking hand in hand along the beach near her research center. The article suggested she was using him to secure funding for her struggling marine project. Olivia's hand shook as she closed the browser. 3 months into their relationship, and the outside world had finally intruded. Her phone buzzed with a text from Sebastian. Ignore it. They're vultures, but the damage was done. That afternoon, Olivia received an email from the grant committee reviewing her research proposal. Their decision had been delayed pending investigation into potential conflicts of interest. Translation: they suspected her relationship with Sebastian was influencing the scientific review process. When Sebastian arrived at her apartment that evening, Olivia was pacing, frustrated. "This is exactly what I was afraid of," she said, showing him the email. "My work is being questioned because of us." Sebastian's jaw tightened. "I can make a call." "No," Olivia interrupted. "That would only prove them right. I need to succeed on my own merits." Their argument escalated when Sebastian revealed he'd been approached by Victor Lazarus, his chief tech rival, with suspicious questions about Olivia's research. "He's trying to get to my new security protocol through you," Sebastian said, running a hand through his hair. "I think we should be more careful about being seen together for a while." Olivia stepped back, hurt flashing across her face. "So I'm a liability now?" "That's not what I meant," Sebastian replied, reaching for her, but Olivia moved away. "Maybe we've been fooling ourselves," she said quietly. "Our worlds are too different. I can't be hidden away whenever it's inconvenient for your business interests." Sebastian's expression hardened. "That's unfair. I'm trying to protect you and my company." "I never asked for protection," Olivia countered. "I asked for a partner." The silence between them grew heavy with unspoken fears and insecurities. "I need time to think," Olivia finally said. Sebastian nodded stiffly, his walls visibly rebuilding. "I understand." He walked to the door, then paused. "For what it's worth, what we had was real. At least for me." After he left, Olivia crumbled onto her couch, tears flowing freely. Hours later, her phone buzzed with an email notification. Her research funding had been officially denied. Meanwhile, Sebastian returned to his empty mansion, staring at the city lights below. His assistant informed him that Lazarus Technologies had just announced a breakthrough in marine acoustics technology, suspiciously, similar to Olivia's research, both realized. Too late that in trying to protect what they had, they'd lost something precious. Trust in each other when they needed it most. Finding harbor 2 months of silence stretched between them like an ocean. Olivia threw herself into salvaging her research, taking a temporary position at a small marine station on Washington's Olympic Peninsula. The isolation suited her wounded heart, though thoughts of Sebastian constantly invaded her focus. She was collecting samples along a remote shoreline when her assistant came running. "Dr. Reed, you need to see this!" On her tablet appeared breaking news. Sebastian Thorne had just publicly exposed Victor Lazarus for corporate espionage, revealing evidence that Lazarus had hacked multiple research institutions, including Olivia's, to steal environmental technology innovations. "There's more," her assistant said excitedly. Thorne announced a new non-profit foundation funding independent marine research. "Your acoustic reef technique is specifically mentioned as the inspiration." Olivia sat heavily on a driftwood log, waves lapping at her boots. Sebastian had cleared her name without taking credit or control. He'd found a way to support her work while preserving her independence. That evening, as sunset painted the horizon in gold and crimson, Olivia spotted a familiar figure walking down the beach toward her cabin. Sebastian looked different, more relaxed. His usually perfect appearance slightly rumpled by the coastal wind. They stood facing each other, the tide pulling and pushing between them like their unresolved emotions. "I made a mistake," Sebastian said simply. "I tried to protect what we had by controlling the situation, which is exactly what drove you away." Olivia studied him, noticing new lines around his eyes. And I was so afraid of losing my independence that I pushed you away when we should have faced things together. Sebastian took a tentative step forward. I've spent my life building technology, thinking innovation was my legacy. But these months without you showed me that connections, real human connections, are what truly matter. Tears welled in Olivia's eyes. I missed you. I missed us, he replied, reaching for her hand. I'm not asking you to fit into my world anymore. I want us to build a new one, together. He explained how he'd restructured his company to allow more personal freedom, stepping back from daily operations. I want a life with you, Olivia, one where we both pursue our passions but come home to each other. As the sun dipped below the horizon, they walked along the shore, plans and promises flowing between them. Sebastian spoke of dividing their time between the research station and the city. Olivia shared her vision for expanding her conservation work globally. Under the emerging stars, their lips met in a kiss that felt both familiar and brand new, a homecoming and a beginning. Sebastian pulled her close, his forehead resting against hers. We're quite the unlikely pair, Olivia laughed softly. Sebastian smiled, his hands gently framing her face. The best discoveries happen by accident. Behind them, the tide continued its eternal dance with the shore, sometimes retreating, sometimes advancing, but always inevitably finding its way back home. Just as they had found their way back to each other, not by chance this time, but by choice.